Season's greetings, I guess, and welcome back to the Now Morning Show, where the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce will be hosting its Artisan Market on Sunday, the 10th of December. To tell us more about it, the president of the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Mr. Ramon Gregorio, joins us via Zoom. Good morning and welcome to the show, Mr. Gregorio.
Hi, good morning, and to you and your viewers.
Compliments of this season, as this is certainly one way to start things off right. My first question, jumping straight into the conversation then, is the aim or the overall goal of this type of event. Who are we hoping to, first off, target and benefit?
All right, and thank you very much. The focus of this artisan market is really the SMEs and the SME sector, the small and medium-sized businesses. And the intent is really to generate activity, especially in our Tunapuna and environs areas, and to be able to create that networking opportunity for SMEs on a large scale. Now, the venture itself is one that is pretty ambitious, I would say, because we expect to have over 100 vendors, as a matter of fact, we have 150 plus vendors who have signed up and registered for the market. So it's quite a challenge. So we've been up since 3-4 o'clock in the morning, sleepless hours, more or less putting things in place to make sure it's really a good experience for SMEs. It's something that is born out of needing to support small and medium-sized businesses coming out of the pandemic, and they have come to us in a number of different ways and across different fora to ask us about how could the chamber better support small and medium-sized businesses in the area. And when we say Greater Tunapuna, we don't just mean Tunapuna alone. Our expanse is from parts of San Juan to Aruca and going across to Piaco and parts of Caroni. So it's quite a huge expanse. So what the artisan market will be, it's an opportunity for vendors to come out, persons who have different skills, handcraft, professional services, technology services, and so on, to be able to come together in one space where we expect a target audience of about 3,500 to 4,000 people passing through on a day, simply because school is over, families will be coming out from the community, and it really wants to be a celebration of business in Tunapuna, small and medium-sized business in Tunapuna and environs, but really celebrating and giving our persons an opportunity to network and create those strategic linkages that could enhance their businesses.
I quite like the use of the word celebration. It is a time that we do celebrate, it's festive. But describe to me what that actually looks like. If we're talking of over 150 vendors, what sort of space is able to accommodate that? Let's talk a little bit about the location and the setup. And then perhaps you can divulge a little bit as to that networking part of things as well.
Yes, sure. So the St. Augustine Girls High School compound, which is located on Evans Street in Curepe, it's very visible as you pass the highway heading to Arima. So the location is there, and parking will be on site. And this is a partnership between the Greater Tunapuna Chamber and the SAGHS Alumnae Association. So we have worked very closely within the last, I would say, 2 months, bringing together this event and making sure it's something that benefits not just the artisans in the Tunapuna community and environs, but also SAGHS alumni. So there's an added bonus in it, in that it allows SAGHS alumni to network, to get back in contact, keep in touch,
right,
as well as businesses. So it's really a combination of it's really a meeting place of business and networking opportunities. And as you asked about networking, we have some pretty strong sponsors who believe in the philosophy of what we are doing and creating that space for small and medium-sized businesses, which is why exporTT jumped on the bandwagon immediately, because they understand the concept of small business growth and development and what it does for an ecosystem and a local ecosystem like the Tunapuna environs area. So exporTT, for example, will be there showcasing their services in terms of how to export, how to carry a product to the next level, how to export to different markets, international and regional markets, and they'll be sharing that type of information. So it's part come to an artisan market and show your wares, but there's also an educational aspect of it where some of our sponsors will be doing 15-minute presentations every hour to be able to educate, to be able to demonstrate what are some of the possibilities for your business. So one of our title sponsors, for example, will be talking mobile money and we're talking Encash, Republic Bank. So those are the kind of things that we're creating. As I said, it's not an environment of just come and show your products and show your services, but what are the tools that we could also give you so that you could keep the next time we have this fair, you actually go into the medium and large business category, which is something that we all aspire to as small and medium-sized businesses that operate in the area.
I quite like that you talk about it next time already, and we're looking at the future of things, because what you're describing sounds like a bit of an expo, maybe. And if we're already on the 150 end of registered persons that will be listed as artisans anyways, we might be looking at a larger number next year, a larger space, and more of an exposition from what you're describing. What would be the plans for the next one?
Well, the intent is really to, as I said, because it's about creating that environment for the SMEs and creating that space for businesses, it's really something that we want to do not just for Christmas. So this is the starting point of our particular initiative, but it's something we intend to roll out throughout the Tunapuna and environs communities over the next year. So in the next year, you'll be seeing quite a few of these events popping up, perhaps not in the magnitude of 150 vendors at all times, but based on the success and the positive response we have received both from members of the chamber who will be participating and supporting the initiative, both from the vendors themselves who have piqued their interest based on the type of and the cross-section of types of vendors that we'll be having, as well as both on the response of the corporate community who have reached out and said, we want to be part of this drive and this initiative. So over the next year, the intent is to have quite a few of these types of markets to be able to really showcase and demonstrate, as I said, that Tunapuna is open for business.
Now, the phrase Tunapuna is open for business has been used quite a bit coming out of the Tunapuna Week and a few other discussions. It says to us that the focus is definitely on making sure that commerce in the area continues to grow, and it means that there are other initiatives that have been done and proven successful. Could you describe to us some of the expected outcomes then, not just for the artisans, but for the Tunapuna and greater community at large, that you have perhaps seen in other endeavors?
Of course. So, for example, at the chamber level, we have worked with the station council in Tunapuna, and one of the vendors who will be there actually is quite a good success story, and I always like to celebrate it across different media. Is the SOS system, which is a silent monitoring and alarm system that businesses are being installed within the Tunapuna area, where if there's any crime or any criminal activity taking place, persons could now press a silent fob and it sends a command to the command center, or it sends information to the command center, who is now able to look at the camera infrastructure in the community or in the area where the crime is taking place and mobilize resources accordingly. That has been one of the big successes in the Tunapuna area, and I'll have to also champion the cause of that particular initiative from the station council. But we have worked hand in hand with them in terms of trying to raise financing, getting information out to members of the Tunapuna and environs businesses about the type of solutions that we have to combat the rise in crime statistics that are happening across the country, and sometimes specifically in the Tunapuna area. So the intent of it and such initiatives like that are things that we hope to come out. So we really want to have some case studies coming out of Tunapuna, hearing these stories at a micro level and listening to some of the SMEs and really using it as a case study of growth and development. That's something that we could use down the road for future entrepreneurs who are thinking about getting into business and being able to see the starting blocks and where the end result could occur.
President Gregorio, that sounds fantastic, if I may say so myself. Having the actual examples and a working example that you plan to build on, making the event not just about, as you say, showing your goods or services, but truly becoming part of a dynamic network. I really, really look forward to heading down to, well, as we call it, SAGHS, on Sunday the 10th to make sure that we take part in the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce Artisan Fair. This Christmas season is about to be fantastic. But before we wrap up, any Christmas wishes or actually anything you're looking forward to getting for Christmas that you might be able to find at the Artisan Fair?
Oh, well, I have a lot of plant buffs in my family, so I'll be able to get quite a few options for plants. I have some techie buffs as friends and colleagues, so some of the technology vendors that are there. Of course, you have your standard fare of baked goods and treats, so we can't have enough of that for the Christmas period. But by and large, it's really about having fun, having getting the chance to interact with businesses, seeing businesses, what are some of these, hear some of the stories of businesses, and really, and those are the things that I like during the Christmas time, hearing those stories, hearing what went into a business and what went into thinking behind a product. So for me personally, it's really about that spirit of camaraderie and being able to see businesses connect. I think that's the greatest Christmas wish anybody or any chamber president could wish for this particular region.
Well, compliments of the season to you, President, and thank you very much for joining us and telling us all about this fantastic initiative. Best of luck on Sunday.
And to you and your viewers, thanks a lot.
Of course, joining us this morning, Mr. Ramon Gregorio, the president of the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce, telling us about their artisan market happening on Sunday, December 10th. You don't want to miss it, and you don't want to miss what's next here on the Now Morning Show. Stick around, guys.